After a ridiculous El Clasico game that went the entire distance, the whole distance, it could not have gone any further. I thought it would never end. God help me, it needs to end. We find ourselves with Colourhex, DPS player playing May in this match for the Boston Uprising. What a ridiculous, ridiculous match.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. All things considered, I really wanted this match to be like a clean match, like a 3-0. And even the draws, I was like, it's still 3-0, you know, we can still clean wrap. That didn't happen. It was ridiculous. But I'm glad we got a lot of the stage nerves for some players out of the way now. A lot of our rookies, once the win was in sight, they start thinking about the win, and you've got to take it map by map basis. Once you start thinking about the win, you start choking, you start thinking about things that aren't your gameplay, and it snowballs from there.
Yeah, can you kind of run me through the series? Because, my word, I mean, the first map was pretty close, but you guys won 2-0. You seemed like you were fairly established. Coming into the game and settling down there, you've got two rookie players. You've got Mouffin and you've got Jerry. How were things right at the beginning?
Pretty decent, honestly. They rolled out of the comp we didn't expect, the Reaper Moira. Kind of caught us off guard a little bit, but we brought it back and it was pretty fine from there. Second map, same thing with the dive. Like, we just didn't do the basics, how to play against dive. We fixed that on the second defense in full held, but every time they threw something new at us, it kind of threw us off guard a little bit. I think a lot of that to do with, like, you know, again, new players, like first game for some people. It's only Gabe's second game, and it went the distance. Like, I'm proud of the boys for, you know, clutching the win, because that could have gone a lot worse somehow.
It definitely could have. I mean, you're going on to Dorado and you set a ridiculous time. I mean, it was truly, outrageous time back. And then you go into Blizzard Worlds and do the same kind of thing on the offense. I think you still had you had 5 minutes coming into point C and then got snarled up a little bit. Is this the kind of area where people were taking their foot off the gas a bit and losing concentration?
You guessed it. Like, it was, honestly, we kept second point, and it was like a switch. It was, everything started going all over the place, spaghetti everywhere. It was horrifying to watch, because it started affecting me, and I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? What are we doing? And it really went downhill from there, if I'm honest. We kind of, after the two Koths that we didn't win, we kind of, I think it finally sunk in that, you know, it was actually possible to lose this match, and people were like, okay, we need to focus up, we need to do our fundamentals, we need to listen, we need to give the people who need to comm their room to comm, don't scream gibberish everywhere and fly off and do whatever and just die alone. But yeah, so I'm cooked right now. I am fully gone.
It must be insanely taxing to play a series like that. I mean, how do you keep your mental how do you even keep focus for anybody? And how do you rally the team at the end? Like, what? How do you keep control?
Not really, you don't. I mean, you do. Obviously you do. That's what happened in the last map. But I don't know. The energy after in those Koth maps where we started losing was really bad. Like, I could feel people getting tilted. I could see people panicking internally. It was at that point where it was 2-2, and we all just like, come on guys, we have to win this. Axiom, he was like, okay guys, we got this. He wasn't frowning anymore, which he was frowning before. He said actually word for word, sorry if I swear, guys, let's win this match. I'm gonna shit talk you all after.
Is he the kind of leading figure that pulls you guys together? I know that he does quite a lot of the shot calling for you as well.
I wouldn't say he pulls us all together. I think if Minsub had a big weakness, it would be that his mental, probably. He doesn't tilt, but he's not like Fusions. Cameron is very, you know, I don't know how to describe Cameron. He's an enigma. He's just always on top of it, always focused, always, you know, doesn't tilt. He's just, come on guys, we got to do this. Minsub, when he's carrying, which he was, and people are panicking and everything, spaghetti everywhere, just kind of shuts down a little bit. And I think that's his biggest weakness, but he brought it back on the 7th map. He was like, come on guys, we've got to do this. He did what Cameron would have done, and it showed.
What do you guys do when or what rather was the difference between you guys playing a bunch of kind of divey different stuff with the double main tanks and this kind of thing in your games against New York, and then coming into this, you're playing permanently May. What's the thought process for the team, and then also for you as a player?
I don't really know. I guess I'll talk about it. I don't know. We had a really bad read on the meta in the first week. That's why we played the double main tank. We scrimmed a lot of teams that only played that exclusively. So we're like, oh, must be the meta. And then slowly we're seeing more Diva, and it was too late to switch because we had double main tank in, and neither of our main tanks can play Diva, and none of our Diva players can play Orisa, and it was just like, kind of all over the place. So we got stuck, and we just made the decision to stick with the double main tank for the New York game. We did it. I'm glad we did it. Probably would have been worse if we just randomly switched a player. But yeah, that was down to like a bad read on the meta.
How are you liking the May in particular? I've spoken to another few players, like Sinatra, for example, absolutely hates it. You seem like a very natural like McCree player in this kind of meta, but you already have Jerry on the roster, so it makes sense for you to kind of fill that slot. How do you like the hero itself?
I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind any hero, honestly. I hate playing one hero and only that one hero. I start to hate that hero, even no matter what it is. I like to be able to switch and be flexible because I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. Don't get the shot because I'm on May. I still think I'm pretty happy with my performance today. I think Blizzard World, I kind of dropped my performance a little bit, and I died first a couple of times. I whiffed a May ult or two, and that was probably my worst map. But other than that, I feel I played pretty well today.
What's your expectations for the Boston Uprising, or what are your hopes for the team? A lot of the communities rating them fairly poorly. I know you spoke about the monkey meme with the Boston Uprising.
Yep, the two knives and the casters and the crowd and the everything. Hilarious. I didn't want it to be true. Turned out to be true, but you know, what can you do? I'm pretty hopeful. A lot more hopeful than I would have been stage 3 last year or stage 4 last year. We've got a lot of new talent, and they're really promising. I.e. like Jerry, absolute nutcase, just needs more time, needs more stage experience, needs more scrim experience. All of the new players do. So I'm really hopeful, and just, I don't know, I anticipate us to be a lot better than people expect. People always like to rate us low because of, I don't know, past history. But no, we've got a lot of promising players, and like team culture this year is a lot better than it was last year. Like it's a lot, I'm happier. And so is everyone else.
That's always incredibly important, I think, when you've got a team like this. Now, you were going up against the Houston Outlaws that had Blase as well. Blase was one of your kind of team leaders and shot callers from previously, too. And he's had a rough time period. I mean, he transitioned from Boston when things weren't going well at all, and now he's gone over to Houston and things aren't going so well there. I don't mean to say that he's the cause for it, but it's been very rough for him as well. When you're going up against him, is there more motivation to beat him today? Do you feel for him because he's a former teammate? What's running through your head compared to Blase?
I try to not think about who I'm playing. I feel it adds just more either pressure, or not that pressure's bad, but it adds things that you're thinking about that aren't the game. I tend to never think, unless it's like oh, this player likes to play like this, but I never think, oh, I'm playing against this person. I have to win, or I have to teabag them, or, you know, that sort of thing. Like, thinking about map wins, like, if you lost the previous map, or who you're playing against, blah, 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 none of that matters. You need to focus on the game. So, not really, but I do feel really bad for Blase, because, like, it's his birthday, man. It's so rough. So rough.
It really is. That's not a great birthday for Blase and the entirety of the Houston Outlaws, honestly. But it must feel good for you guys to have that first match loss to New York and be able to rebound back. Looking forward in your schedule, there's a bunch of different homestands coming up. What are you looking forward to now, or looking towards?
Boston homestand. I really want to play in front of a home crowd. I got to taste that with the Jerry, the Jerry energy, having like a crowd not chanting for me, but my teammate, I'm right next to him, I'm holding up his hand. Felt really good. It was really fun. So I want that for not just him, you know, I want it for the team. And I think a Boston home crowd would be really fun. I've heard, like, you know, Boston's nuts for sports, they're wild. If it's anything like the New York homestand, I hope it's even better. If it's anything like that, then it's going to be great.
All right, sweet. Well, thank you very much for talking to me, Colourhex. Good luck in your future games, and I hope you have a lot of fun when it finally does get to the Boston homestand.
Me too. I hope it's nothing like this, because this almost killed me. Unironically, I almost died. Straight up.
The stress has got to be ridiculous.
I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna.
How do you recover? What's the recovery process for you and your team? Your heart rate must be through the roof. Your blood pressure.
Yeah. Don't know. We'll see.
Drinks, a bath, some kind of relaxation process.
Probably. Yeah, that would be a good start.
Well, I'll leave you to that then. What a match that we just witnessed. What an outrageous match. But we all survived it, and so did the Boston Uprising. They come away with a win. Yeah, barely. Yeah, so good luck to you in your future games.